to Creative Tuesdays with Liz. I'm Liz. Farron is here joining us again today. We are going to work on some permanent markers, some Sharpie tie dyed. Before we get started, you're going to want to lay out something to protect your area. You're going to want to have that out. You will probably need to make sure that you have some paper towels handy, some rag towels. You can have, if you don't have a spray bottle for your rubbing alcohol, that will be just fine. I'll show you how we can do that if you don't have a spray bottle. If you do, we could just pour some of the alcohol in here and then it'll be ready to spray. I just want to thank everybody for being here today. I am really excited about this. Tie-dye is just very fun, and it's something that always turns out different, and no matter how you do it, if you and somebody else do the same thing, it's going to look different. So I think this is going to be really fun, and I'm excited to get started today. Just a little thing to let you know, if you use permanent markers, the ink that's inside a permanent marker, it does not spread or wash away. It doesn't dissolve in water. So this project would not work with water. But the rubbing alcohol, however, will dissolve the ink that's inside the permanent markers. So it's very soluble in rubbing alcohol, which is what makes this project work. So when we color with the permanent markers and we put the rubbing alcohol on it, that kind of dissolves the permanent ink, and it'll kind of make the colors spread out and run along your fabric. So with that being said, just know that you will not have a very detailed design. If you do want something detailed, I know Farron is going to have a detail on hers, so she's going to put some tie-dye colors on hers, and then after she gets the alcohol dry, then she's going to go back in and draw something else with the permanent marker. So you can always do that as well. If you do want more of a symmetrical shape, you might want to take your item that you're going to dye and fold it in half or either in quarters. So I'm going to do a bandana in the summertime. I love to have a bandana. You will not catch me outside in the summertime without a bandana. Yes, my children, Farron, will let you know that that is the case. So I am going to do a bandana. Farron's doing a t-shirt. And so we will go ahead and get started. Like I said, if you do want it symmetrical, you can fold your item in half or lay it out flat. That's fine. Since the alcohol does dissolve the ink, then even if it's folded up and once you wet it with the alcohol, everything spreads together. So that's how it works, even being folded in half. So you can get your whatever colors you choose to use. You can use as many or as little colors as you want. So you're just going to start coloring all around. And you can just add colors here and there. You can spread them out. Use whatever colors. I'm using a peachy color. I really do. Summertime makes me think of peaches. I love peaches. I love the smell of peaches. So I am going to do some peach coloring. That's the color scheme I'm going to go with today. I hope that everyone has had a good week this past week and has just enjoyed the time that you've had. I hope it hasn't been hot. I hope everybody has just been doing very well and no one's been sick and everything's been going good for you. Please do, whenever you finish your project, if it is something that you wear, please take a picture of yourself wearing your project so that we can see it. You can take a picture of yourself in it and make sure to tag us in it, the Lancaster County Council of the Arts. so that we can see that. So I'm really excited about this, for us to be able to have this. So I think it's going to be very fun. Also on this video, whenever you're finished, in the comments section, if you leave some comments of some projects that you would like to do, please do that, and then we can read those over and we can get some projects lined up for some things that you would like to do as well. So if you know that there's a project that you would like to see, that you'd like to try, or anything like that, just leave a message for us in the comments section, or send us a message on Facebook, post on our Facebook page or Instagram page. Oh yeah, please do also take a picture of yourself and your item and tag us in it if you have an Instagram account, and to see that as well. But it's very exciting. Or if you don't want to be in the picture, I know some people don't like to have their picture made, you can just take a picture of your item and just post that on there as well. So you'll just keep working and adding as many or as little colors as you'd like. You can leave some white areas because it will spread out into the white areas, or if you want some more larger white areas, you can leave a big area white. So I just want you to have fun. Please remember, this is about the process. I really just want you to enjoy this, the process of making this and having something cool that you've made. This would be a good, little gift idea for somebody. If you get invited to a birthday party for a friend, or somebody you know's having a birthday, or anything coming up. I know Father's Day was not too long ago. So you can make them something tie-dyed cool that they can have. So and just to let you know, when you do finish, if it is something that you wear and that you wash, you can just make sure you wash it with other colors. More than likely, it is not going to bleed anymore. Anything that I've made with the permanent marker tie-dye has not bled in the wash, but I wouldn't wash them with anything white. So you can just, it'll wash and do fine. You'll be able to wash it if it's something that you wear or have. You could do a hat. Ooh, hats would be cool. Socks, anything would be look super cool tie-dyed.
Socks?
Yeah, socks too.
I'd get for all of these.
So I just want you to keep on working, color as areas as much or as little as you want, and I just really want you to enjoy this and have fun with it. Just really have a good time. So I'm using some, like I said, some peach and green colors. I might decide to do some other colors on the ends of it. Tie-dye is a very, very neat concept that's been around for so long. It's been around a very long time. People have used plants or flowers kind of mashed up to use dyes. People did food coloring. I know most of the time if you think of tie-dyed, you think of the 1960s. So yeah, tie-dyed was a big part of that, and it's just really cool. You could have like a monochromatic tie-dyed, which is just one color, and you use
different shades.
Just different shades of that, and when you tie-dye, areas will turn out lighter, some will turn out darker. So it is something that's been around for a while, and it's just very fun. Or you can use as many colors, every single color you can think of, and they'll all turn out so cool and so different. So
I I'm doing one with the design, and I'm doing a Volkswagen van on it. Because we into Volkswagens.
Yes, we're Volkswagen people. Comment in the sections if you're a Volkswagen person as well. So I think that, you know, the more that you talk to people and get to know them, you realize, like, hey, you really, so many people out there, you've got something in common with everybody. There's at least one thing I guarantee that you can find in common with anybody out there. And so it's just, you know, it's good to just remember that, hey, everybody is just another person just like you and me, and that, you know, we're all have similarities, we all have differences, but just, I guarantee that if you talk to people more, you will find out that you at least have one thing in common, probably more with them. So yeah, it's just good to remember that, you know, we're all the same. We're all here living on this earth, making it, doing the best that we can, and trying to be kind to each other.
Do you have tape?
I do not have any tape.
Okay.
I am sorry about that.
How do you think I did wrong with my son?
I love it. This looks like it's going to be some kind of spirally swirl colors. So yeah, I think Farron has said she's doing hers, and then she's going to, after she gets all her colors done, she's going to spray it with the rubbing alcohol or pour rubbing alcohol on it. And then once that dries very well, she's going to go back and use the permanent markers to draw in the design that she wants. So also, when it's time to dry, you might want to get a plastic bag or some extra rag towels or anything, so that you can have something to keep that on. And then also you might need cardboard or something to lay it out on to dry when it's getting ready to dry, just so that the colors won't bleed onto anything else. So Farron's starting to spray hers. No, it's in here. You just got to get it started.
Oh.
Here you go.
I'm going to spray the markers. Okay, thank you.
There you go. So just kind of got to get it started, and the colors will start. If you just filled it up, yeah, sometimes you need to give it your spray bottle a few squirts just to get it sucked up, your liquid sucked up into the straw there. So, but yes, so I think this is, oh, if you can see, Farron's, her colors are really starting to spread out together. They're really starting to look really cool. You can concentrate certain areas and add a little bit of more. Like if you didn't have a spray bottle, could I pour a drop onto yours anywhere? If you didn't have a spray bottle, you can always very carefully over your protected area just pour a little bit out over it. So that's always something that you can do if you don't have a spray bottle. So there's always ways that you can kind of tweak this and get the desired effect if you don't have every single material that we use. So and so yeah, Farron just still left hers laying out flat while she sprayed her alcohol on there. Yeah, and it's how the colors bleed with each other. So yeah, remember that permanent ink is soluble in rubbing alcohol, not in water. If you do this in water, it really won't work. But yeah, that's what makes the permanent markers work with tie-dye. Now, if you used a water-based marker and you tie-dyed something, yes, you could use water, but if it's something that you wash or that gets wet, it will kind of bleed out and end up fading away. So if you wash it, it will wash away. If it's a bandana that you're wearing outside and you sweat, then the colors will transfer to your skin. So just that's something to keep in mind too. So I'm going to leave mine. I have my bandana folded into quarters. And I'm going to leave it folded while I spray the alcohol on it. And I'm going to really spray mine and get it really just saturated throughout. So yes, make sure that when you are doing your alcohol, you make sure you keep it on your protected surface area, so that nothing, bleeds to it. So there's some, we might need to pour some more in there. Or if you don't have a spray bottle, like I said. And I know that rubbing alcohol is a little hard to come by nowadays. But you can just kind of very carefully pour it over there in over your protected area. If you had like I said, some plastic bags you can lay down. You might want to use a plastic bag for while you're letting it dry outside or inside to lay on. So once you pour your alcohol on it, or you get it good and sprayed with alcohol, you're going to want to kind of wad it up like you would a washcloth. And just so that all the colors really start to spread together and get really good.
Can I have a rag towel?
Here, you can use that. So I just kind of like to wad up it with like I would a washcloth, like I said, and just kind of get it all good and saturated all throughout. And if you really, now I'm not really getting much on my hands, but if you really do have a problem with your hands getting dirty, or if you have any cuts on your hands, the alcohol will burn it. It will burn a cut. So if you have some plastic gloves, you might want to put some plastic gloves on so that you don't burn yourself or get markers on your hands. I use some very light colors, so it really isn't showing up on my hands. But if you use some darker colors and you really don't want to get your hands dirty, then you can use some plastic gloves if you have any. So here is mine. I will lay it out to dry, and then I will make sure to have a picture of this and show you that as well, that we'll put up with the video. Next week we can come together and create glue and pastel drawing. So for this project you will need a black construction paper, a bottle of liquid glue, you'll need some chalk pastels or some just colored chalk, and if you want to go ahead and get prepared for next week, you want to go ahead so you can just start your pastel coloring, you can go ahead and do a drawing on your black construction paper and then just outline it with the liquid glue. So you can do any type of shape, you could do an animal, anything. So I did this earlier, so the glue is still wet. It does take a few hours for the glue to dry. So just if you did want to get kind of a head start, you can do any shape. You can do an animal, you can do your name, you could do, I know we did a scribble drawing before, you can do that. And just trace over your drawing in with your liquid glue, and so that can be dry. If not, and you didn't want to do that ahead of time, we'll go through all the steps together next week as we come together and create our glue and pastel drawings. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll see you next week.